Hello and welcome back to Idej Gaming. Well, it's still Call of Duty month, so what better way to celebrate than by taking a look at the best Call of Duty game ever made, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Released in 2009, Modern Warfare 2 quickly became a cultural phenomenon. It was the best-selling game of 2009, beating out other games like Metal Gear Solid 4, Uncharted 2, Halo 3, and GTA 4. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing this game, including cable news, but we'll get back to that later. Though the multiplayer and Spec Ops modes for this game were amazing, and arguably are what many remember most about this game, we're going to be looking at the campaign mode. The story in this game was amazing, something straight out of a Hollywood screenplay. Before this, the stories for most first-person shooters were kind of bland and generic, even in the first game. But this game had depth, emotion, and an overall story that kept you engaged and motivated to keep going. Though the genre in general has gone back to mostly bland campaigns or no campaign at all, this one is the shining example of how to do a story for a first-person shooter. So much so that earlier this year, a remaster of the campaign was released. Wait, something good happened in 2020? Does Modern Warfare 2 still hold up? Or is it just childhood nostalgia that keeps the legend alive? Let's take a look and find out. This is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. We start by seeing some clips from the first game, followed by some narration from General Shepard, voiced by Lance Henriksen. Some may know him as Bishop from the Alien franchise, or the voice of Kerchak from Tarzan. But forget all that. He was the star of Pumpkinhead! We find out that in the 5 years since the first game, the ultranationalist group has taken control of Russia. The antagonist from the first game, Imran Zinkayev, is seen as a martyr, and his second-in-command, Makarov, has taken control and is carrying out terrorist attacks against the West. We cut to Private First Class Joseph Allen, helping teach locals how to fight back against the Russians, before going to run a training course similar to the one in the first game. Again, I'm playing the remaster here, where in the first game the remaster hardly changed anything. Here, a few in-game animations have been added in certain areas that do help make the game flow a little better. Also, an inspect weapon button has been added that, while most people won't bother with, I actually used quite a bit for some reason. Anyways, after the training course, Shepard leads a group of Army Rangers to take back a town occupied by the ultranationalists.
Sure, it matters who's got the biggest stick, but it matters a hell of a lot more who's swinging it.
After a line like that, I'm surprised Shepard wasn't in the Navy. Shepard notices Alan's skills on the battlefield and recruits him to join Task Force 141, an elite Spec Ops team under Shepard's command. Meanwhile, we go on a mission with 141 members Sergeant Gary Roach Sanderson and now Captain Soap McTavish back from the first game, but this time as an NPC voiced by Kevin McKidd. I really like that the team took the character we played as in the first game, but didn't get to know anything about him. Heck, we never even saw what he looked like in the first game. And now make him not only our companion, but the new badass leader of the team. Soap and Roach are sent to a Russian airbase to retrieve an ACS module of information. One thing this game does a lot better than the first is having a better blend of stealth and action gameplay, most likely due to the popularity of the all gillied up mission from the first game. After sneaking into the base, Roach retrieves the ACS module, but Soap is captured.
Roach, go to Plan B.
Roach and Soap are able to escape on snowmobiles, while Shepard prepares Alan for his first mission, bringing us to the infamous No Russian mission. So in this mission, Makarov... Wait, what? I wasn't planning to. Fine, I guess we have to address the controversy surrounding this mission. So when this game came out, there was a lot of controversy regarding this mission. Remember, America was only 8 years removed from 9/11, so seeing a video game make players carry out a terrorist attack in an airport was understandably contentious. This predictably reignited the debate about whether video game violence leads to real-world violence. Let's get one thing straight. For every one study saying video games lead to real-world violence, there are 10 studies debunking that study, and another 10 proving the opposite to be true. Most of the disinformation regarding this game can be chalked up to ignorance, which is understandable for the time. Video games were still coming into the mainstream, and people were scared of their effect on children, the same way they were with movies, TV shows, Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, Madonna, The Simpsons, comic books, Dungeons & Dragons, Transformers, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, rock and roll, The Beatles, Elvis. You see where I'm going. However, even today people debate whether this level should exist, and a lot of times use false information when making their arguments, such as in this article from Wired.com. So to clear things up, I am going to walk through this mission step by step, discerning fact from fiction, and let you decide how you feel about it. So before the mission starts, heck, before the game even starts, the player is asked if he would like to be given the option to skip certain parts of the game that may be considered offensive or disturbing. This warning is referring to the No Russian mission. Before the mission starts, the player will again be asked if they wish to skip the potentially disturbing content. Even if the player says no to both of these warnings, the pause menu during this mission will allow the player to skip ahead at any point during the level. The Wired article I mentioned earlier says the remaster including this option feels like an admission that this level was not necessary in 2009. What the writer of the article forgot to mention was that this warning was in the game when it released in 2009. Yeah, even back then when the video game scene was much more edgy and nowhere near as PC as it is today, Infinity Ward included an option to skip this level because they knew some people might find it disturbing. The level begins with Alan having infiltrated Makarov's plan to carry out a terrorist attack on a Russian airport. We fade from black, and Makarov himself utters the famous line that gives this mission its namesake.
С нами Бог. Remember, no Russian.
The group walks out of the elevator and the player is forced to kill innocent people. This is more false information. The player is never forced to shoot anyone in this mission. That's right, in a shooter game, there is an entire level where you are never told or required to shoot your weapon once. In fact, the mission objective just tells you to follow Makarov. The Wired article, to its credit, does mention that you do not have to shoot the civilians, but says that it seems that this was unintentional. Actually, it was completely intentional. The lead designer of the level, Mohammed Lavi, who also designed the All Gillied Up mission in the first game, said he did not want players to be punished for not doing what they felt was morally wrong. This led to him letting the players not kill anyone, including the civilians and the cops who tried to stop you later, and the implementation of the skip feature. This means players can choose to prioritize keeping your cover with these terrorists and killing innocent people, or standing by your morals and strong beliefs and refuse to hurt the innocent. I'm a horrible person. The massacre continues and eventually the group heads outside and is confronted by police. Again, the player can choose to not fire a single shot, as your AI companions will take out the cops for you. We get to the end of the level as the group escapes in an ambulance.
We've sent a strong message to this attack, Makarov.
That was no message. This is a message.
He'll be fine. Apparently, Makarov knew Alan was an American, and leaves his body at the airport, ensuring America will be blamed for the attack and Russia and the US will go to war. Moving on from this level, Soap and the game try to track down Makarov by finding the arms dealer who supplied Makarov with weapons. This takes them to Rio de Janeiro, and this is one of my favorite parts of the entire game. Running through the favelas makes for some of the best combat encounter design I have ever seen in a game. The whole scene is just complete chaos with guys shooting you from every angle. You eventually find the arms dealer as we cut back to the homeland as Russia begins their invasion of the United States.
Your scope.
Sierra Delta, repeat.
I'm looking at fighter jets over I-95! How the hell did they get through?
Stand by, attempting to contact the nearest unit in that sector.
I read you. This is 1st Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment. Sergeant Foley, acting commander of Hunter 2-1. Do you copy? Over.
All stations be advised. Satellite surveillance has been disabled. SOSUS and paid pause arrays are inoperative.
In these missions, you play as Private James Ramirez of the Army Rangers, under the command of Sergeant Foley, voiced by my favorite voice actor in this entire game, Keith David.
Overlord, this is Hunter 2-1, requesting air support. Over.
I'm flattered, but it takes a whole team to achieve what we did today. Thank you. Roger that, Overlord. Be advised, we have encountered enemy armor and are proceeding on foot. Over. Take them down. Semper Fi. Hold your fire. Don't engage that BTR. They haven't acquired us. You have the right to get the fuck out of my office. You have the right to kiss my dick.
Juxtaposing these two storylines is genius in game design that I feel deserves acknowledging. Like I said earlier, the Brazilian favelas are pure chaos, with players clearing out large areas of tightly congested enemies before clearing out smaller, brief open spaces of enemies, and crossing those small open areas to get to the next tightly packed area. The Russian invasion missions, especially the first one, are the exact opposite. In these levels, players start in small, tightly packed areas, such as a building or an alley, and clear that area of enemies fairly quickly. They then spend most of the mission defending said small area from enemies who are crossing a large open area, before eventually crossing that large open area themselves to take control of another small condensed area full of enemies. This level design, combined with the introduction of the ACM missile, can set up huge battles with you taking out more than 10 enemies at a time.
Reinforcements approaching from the west. Over. Ramirez, use the remote control predator missile. We got incoming infantry. Keep them away from Megatown. 10 plus KIAs. Good hit. Good hit. Good kills, Hunter 2-1. Good kills.
Going back and forth between these two types of level layouts gives the player both a sense of familiarity, while also challenging them and making the levels feel fresh and new. After escaping Brazil, Soap and the team learn that one of Makarov's biggest enemies is being held in the Gulag as prisoner 627. A fun, fast-paced mission follows where the team captures an oil rig, and then heads out to find 627.
Clear.
I know I said this about basically every level, but dang, what follows is a really great mission. It begins with you sniping enemies from a helicopter.
Roger. All snipers, clear to engage.
You land and storm into the Gulag. You fight towards the cell block and come to a room full of weapons.
See anything you like?
And make your way into a dark hallway where you use your night vision to clear out enemies.
Yankee, contact, you 1 o'clock. I'm tracking him. Tango down.
However, the Navy has begun attacking the prison, so it's a race against the clock to find 627. The team makes their way into the prison and breach the wall into 627's cell. So, who was this enemy of Makarov that we went through so much to find?
His name is John C.
No, it's actually someone even scarier.
Drop it!
Soap?
Price? This belongs to you, sir.
It turns out 627 was none other than Captain John Price, voiced again by Billy Murray. No time for reunions though, as the Navy continues bombing the Gulag and the team barely makes it out alive. By the way, how's DC looking right now?
We're hit. Mayday, Mayday. This is Dagger 2-1. We are going down at Grid Square. Papa Bravo.
They'll be fine. Price takes his team, because, let's face it, it was always his team, to Russia to... It's hard to really say what the plan was here. So the team parachutes in and stealth their way into town before Price assaults a nuclear submarine and eventually launches a nuclear missile towards the United States.
Missile in the air!
We're done! Game over, man! Game over!
However, Price detonates it in the upper atmosphere, EMPing the eastern seaboard and giving the Americans the upper hand. Well, except in the space race.
Houston, this is ISS.
Ooh, so much for the Space Force. Meanwhile, the 141 narrow down Makarov's location to one of two safe houses. Price and Soap go to one in Afghanistan, while Roach and Ghost go to the one on the Georgian-Russian border. Roach and Ghost find that Makarov isn't there, however there is a treasure trove of intel. They download it onto a DSM and fight their way out as Shepard arrives to rescue them.
Roger, I got him lined up. Gold Eagle's on the ground. Watch for snipers on thermal. Over.
You have the DSM. We got it, sir.
Good. That's one less loose end.
Area is sanitized. All targets destroyed. Solid copy. No movement detected. 2-6 going into holding pattern.
They'll be fine. Or maybe not. Yeah, in unquestionably the greatest twist in video game history, Shepard betrays and kills Roach and Ghost, as it turns out the entire war was his plan all along.
Do not trust Shepard! Son, get down!
We cut to Afghanistan, where Soap and Price are caught in the middle of a battle between Makarov and Shepard's men. Price tries to contact Makarov to find out where Shepard is, resulting in one of the eeriest moments of the game.
Makarov, this is Price. Shepard's a war hero now. He's got your operations playbook and he's got a blank check. Give me what you got on Shepard, and I'll take care of the rest. I know you can hear me on this channel, Makarov. You and I both know you won't last a week. And neither will you. Makarov, you ever hear the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Price, one day you're going to find that cuts both ways. Shepard is using Site Hotel Bravo. You know where it is.
The conversation is short, but the music, suspense, and Makarov's voice all combine for a quick, creepy moment. It's also funny how Price still throws this little jab at Makarov even after he just helped him.
I'll see you now.
Looking forward to it. Give my regards to Zakhaev if you get there first.
Would you like some aloe vera? You just got burned.
The two battle across the boneyard and are able to escape with the help of Nikolai. The classic pair get ready to go after Shepard, but not before Price gives one hell of a pep talk.
The healthy human mind doesn't wake up in the morning thinking this is its last day on Earth. But I think that's a luxury, not a curse. To know you're close to the end is a kind of freedom. Good time to take inventory. Outgunned, outnumbered, out of our minds on a suicide mission. But the sand and rocks here, stained with thousands of years of warfare, they will remember us for this. Because out of all our vast array of nightmares, this is the one we choose for ourselves. We go forward like a breath exhaled from the earth, with vigor in our hearts and one goal in sight. We will kill him.
That's great!
The pair sneak their way into Shepard's base, but are found out, and Shepard bombs his own men to try to take out Price and Soap.
Excalibur, this is Gold Eagle. Fire mission. Target package Romeo. Danger close. That's within 100 meters of your position, sir. That's not a suggestion. Send it. Roger. Fire mission, danger close.
So, incoming! Get down! Get down! Since when does Shepard care about danger close?
The two survive and chase Shepard on speedboats before taking down his helicopter and falling over a waterfall.
Don't tell me. We're about to go over a huge waterfall.
Yep.
Sharp rocks at the bottom?
Most likely.
Bring it on.
Soap washes up on shore and finds Shepard. Shepard stabs Soap, but Price comes in to save him.
A few moments later.
Or not. Soap somehow manages to pull the knife out of his chest and hit Shepard right in the eye. Nikolai returns to help Price and Soap escape.
Nikolai, we've got to get Soap out of here.
Nah. I know a place.
That was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and a decade later, it's still just the best. I realize this game isn't for everybody, but it's not meant to be. This isn't The Last of Us, whose story I would compare to a novel or movie. The story here is more like my Dungeons & Dragons campaign. All the story really needs is to introduce our good guys, introduce the bad guys, figure out why they're fighting, and then let the players have fun. Modern Warfare 2 does this perfectly, and that's why, amongst shooter games, it's the crown jewel. People still complain about what the game's message says about the industry, but what these people don't understand is, there is no message here. And that's okay. This is your basic good versus evil story with a couple of fun twists here and there to keep the player interested. And nothing so black and white has been so beloved since Seinfeld.
Oh, look, Elaine, the black and white cookie. I love the black and white.
I can't recommend this game more to you. It's one of my favorites and really got me into shooter games as it was my first Call of Duty game. Just remember, if you do decide to pick it up, don't take it too seriously. After all, it is just a game. I'm Brandon Satterwhite for Idej Gaming. Thank you for watching.